Good morning. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I'm meant to be getting a package between 11 and 10 and 11. So I just checked to see like if it's going to be like 10 or like 11. And I'm delivery number 22 and they're on delivery number 19. So I was like, oh, maybe they'll be quick and I can just grab it and then go live. But they've been on delivery number 19 for 10 minutes now. So maybe it's like a booty call or something. I don't know. So I said, screw it. I'll just start the live. And then when they come to the door, I'll just say, be right back. So yeah, that was my story. So today we're going to do these little rosebuds here. I'm sure they have a different name. I just wrote rosebud on it, so good. And I've chosen this really like nice rich red, and then I'm gonna pair it with this dark green because we haven't done any really dark colors yet. So hopefully these two will look nice together. So we're going to switch it up today. Instead of doing the greenery first, we're going to do the rosebuds first. And I'm going to use all 6 strands. Where are my scissors? There they are. How is everyone today? It's Thursday today, in case anybody didn't know. All right, so I'm using all 6 strands, and what we're gonna do is like a little makeshift satin stitch, but we're gonna go over and over and over it so it looks really nice and like plump and like almost like coming off the fabric. So it's not gonna lay flat and smooth like the thread painting or even just a regular satin stitch. We're gonna really go over and over and over. So let's see. I can already tell I need to tighten up my fabric. So first I'm just gonna fill it in once, and you can already see that it's much thicker than any of the other ones that we've done. Because I think we used less than 6 strands for almost all of them except the 12-strand one. And then the second one that we did. Now Jessie wants in. Ugh, she's killing me. Maybe she'll just not. Jessie really wanted to go out like a minute ago as well. So I let her out before I started, and now look. I'm not done, I'm just pulling out the threads because they've gotten stuck. It's still stuck. Now, usually before I start, I'll trim those a little bit shorter because that one is quite long. Now, obviously you could just leave it like that, but I'm not. I'm gonna go over it a couple more times because I really want it to be like thick, you know, like almost bubbled up. Oh, I bet it's because the neighbor's dog's out, and when the neighbor's dog's out, she runs inside because the neighbor's dog is a little bit barky. Nope. So there we go. And you can see that it's really raised up off like that. Oh my God. Be right back, guys. You are killing me. Come on. Go and lay down. Go on. Go see David. Go on. Go see David. Go lay down. Sorry. Okay, so that's probably good enough for this one. And of course you could just do just a regular satin stitch if you wanted to. But this gives it a little bit more texture. So we're gonna do the same thing here. Just really plump them up. Of course, it's happened again. Mike says, I like it raised. Yeah, me too. I think sometimes people get a little bit too obsessed with having things like really silky and smooth and like almost flat to the fabric, almost like it is a painting, which is a really nice technique, but I think sometimes it's really nice to have it like off the fabric and like, you know, bumped up. How you holding on, Meg? So I've just done one pass, and I'm gonna go back and do another one. Let's start from down here. So if you've noticed, I've kind of done one pass flat, yeah? And then now I've just done one on each side and then one down the middle, and that seems to be good enough. Might have to turn the music down as well. But it's different for every person, so your hoop might look different than mine, depending on how many stitches you use, etc., etc. I'll do one more here. All right. Okay, Meg. One down the middle, and then we've just got one more to do, and we'll do the green bit. Now, I will say that tomorrow is going to be either a pansy or a violet. They look a little bit similar. So what you might want to do is have a little look. I think that's the... Yep. Hiya.
Is it Tony?
Tori, yes.
Tori, yes, sorry.
That's okay. Oh, shush. Thank you. Yep, have a good day. She's fine. There you go. The excitement is done. All right. So what I was saying is that you might want to go and have a look at either pansies or violets and have just a little idea of the colors and where the colors go. And you might want to pull a couple colors for that now, so that tomorrow you're not like, oh no, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to use. Just prepare yourself a bit. Obviously, it's going to be, most of them are purple, I think. but they have a bit of, some of them can be pink. They've got a bit yellow in, a bit white. Should be nice. Jessie, it's on the table. Jessie likes to smell the boxes that come in. So any kind of like delivery that we get, she's like, ooh, what's in there? What does it smell like? I think this also kind of shows if you make a mistake, then it's okay. But the more threads that you put on top of each other, the thicker it's going to look. So be a little bit mindful. When you have just one strand, you can go over and over and over, and it won't really make that much of a difference. But when you have 6, it starts to get really thick really quick. You know? Okay, and then I'll do one more down the middle so it has like a nice point to it. And then good morning. And then we'll move on to the green. Now I picked a really dark green for this. Obviously you can pick a different one if you'd like. That's up to you. And I think we'll do 3 strands. So let me just split this. I'm gonna do 2 strands because I just think I don't want the leaves to be so poofy. So as always, I'll let you choose what you would like to do for the stem. And for the leaves and the underneath of the buds, we're going to use a detached chain stitch. So you can see how they make leaves, because we haven't done that yet. We've only used the detached chain stitch for petals. So for the stem part here, you can do back stitch, whipped back stitch, stem stitch. You could do a split stitch if you wanted to. We haven't done that yet. But I'll teach that later. Okay, so my kind of go-to stitch for stems is a stem stitch because 1, it's super easy to do. 2, it's really quick. It doesn't take a really long time. And 3, I just like it. So I've got 2 strands and I'm keeping my stitches quite small for this bit. Or at least I'm trying to. They tend to get bigger and bigger and bigger as I'm going along, which I don't always intend for that to happen, but it does. Okay, so now we're at the end. Yeah, and I'm going to do 1 detached chain stitch on either side. So it's going to look like the blooming bit of the rosebud, you know? Robin, are you still on here? I thought I saw you earlier. Robin Lynn. That's my mom. She might be gone now. Oh, Dad called me at like 11:30 and I was already sleeping. Is it anything I should be worried about? For the next bit, you can do a really long one or you can just do a couple satin stitches. So I'm going to do a really long one. With 2 strands. Okay, good, because I woke up at 2 o'clock just to like roll over or whatever. I had a drink of water and saw that I had a missed call and I was like, I hope it's not anything like horrible. You guys should know I go to bed at 10 o'clock, okay? 10 o'clock is my bedtime. I go to bed and I read for like 7 minutes and then I fall asleep. He just wanted to tell you about his toilet paper success. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's so him. At 11 o'clock at night. Well, my time, 11:30. But yeah, sometimes if I can't sleep, I'll just put my book. I'll like turn my book back on, you know? Because I've got the books on my phone. So I'll just like turn the screen back on so I can see my book and read a little bit to go to sleep. Now, if you wanted to, you could put one down the middle of the rosebud as well. So sometimes I'll put one in the middle going into here. But because we built it up so much with the 6 strands and then we went over and over and over it, it might be a little bit difficult for you to do that. But obviously, do how you want to. No. I almost pulled my thread off. Oh. David told me he had a dream about self-isolating. Like he was out with some friends and everyone was like standing really closely. Isn't that crazy? All right, just a couple more and then we'll be finished. And you can also put a line down the middle if you want to, but that's not, that's just an extra. That's not really like the stitch, if you know what I mean. So the detached chain stitch is just this. Oh my goodness. I choked on my own words. But if you wanted to add another straight stitch in the middle, just so that it's like kind of filled in a bit more, Of course you could. Of course you can. Of course. Some people like them a little bit open. I'll show you one with it filled in. Or you can have it filled in like that. It's absolutely up to you. And there's a free pattern in my Facebook group at the moment. You do have to search the Barmy Foxes on Facebook, or you can swipe up in my stories from yesterday and you can go and download that. It's super simple. There's not like a step-by-step pattern like it is in the rest of my PDF patterns. It's literally just this stitch here, this stitch there. But I might go live later and stitch it up a little bit. Not in a little bit. I mean, like, I'll stitch it up a little bit. Just can't do all of it in like one go. That'll be too long. And I think that they stop you after an hour anyways. So at least they do on Instagram. Okay, this is what we have so far. Let's zoom it out. So we've got our rosebuds here. I obviously haven't finished that yet, but I have all the threads set aside for it, so I know what they are. This will be the violet or pansy, so you can have a look at those. These are poppies. This is supposed to be a cone flower, but I think I got it mixed up with the pink gardenia. So we will make something similar, but it's supposed to be a cone flower. And then this is yarrow, so it'll be some French knots and a really nice deep like mustardy yellow for the tips there. So we only have 4 left. I don't know what to do when it's over, to be honest. I think it'll be a little bit too soon for another stitch along, if you know what I mean, as people are like staying away from their jobs more and more and more. So I don't know. We'll see what we can come up with. But I hope you have a lovely Thursday. Tag me in your rosebuds and make sure that you're going to comment on other people's stitch alongs. It's so important, so important. Some people have never stitched before, and sometimes that's just the encouragement that you need to keep going, you know? If you're private on there, then we will not see your pictures. So even if you tag me, I might not see it because if you're private. So if you need to send me a picture of it, then you can do that, and I'm happy to post it on my stories if you will allow. So I hope you have a lovely day, and yeah, I'll talk with you tomorrow. All right? Bye.